Hey, all right. Welcome to the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
We're going to talk about some cool topics today.
Dude, it would have been cool if I brought Yipes and Combo Fiend to the house.
Actually, it would have been pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
But we didn't do that. Instead, we're going to talk about Summit of Power, which happened this past weekend. We're going to talk about E3 and Smash, of course.
Yes.
As well as other, I guess, our perceptions of it and other fighting game news or not news, depending on your perspective.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And, other stuff that's been going on. So anyway, let's start off with the Summit, which was this past weekend.
That's right. So, of course, Beyond the Summit is the group that has done all sorts of different esports events. And for the fighting game community, they had only previously done Smash stuff.
Yes.
They have only done Smash Brothers stuff before. This was the first time that they ventured into more of the FGC proper and did some Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yes.
And basically what they did, they had an election process or whatever. You know, they had voting process for people. So they invited some people. Other people were voted in. They all go to a house in California. They live there for 3 days. And they just play all sorts of games and craziness until the very last day, in which they have the official 32-man bracket, right? And the winner, and that's just a standard double elimination fighting game tournament.
Wait, was it 32?
That does sound off. It's 16.
I don't think it was 32.
It was 16.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 16.
It's like, dang, I don't think it was that many people.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so even before getting to the actual event itself, you brought up the voting, and at the time, many of us had problems with how that ran, because it was... the model was that you basically had to pay money. You had a sort of base number of votes, but beyond that, you had to pay money. You had to buy items on their store in order to get more votes. Effectively, you're paying for votes, right? And some people use that in a way that
eBay sniping.
Yeah, it was sniping, I guess. Right. So some players kind of just squeaked in at the very end in a couple situations. There were some angel investors who came down and like just to sort of last minute help people out.
But
that was criticized because it, I don't know, feels kind of gross. To me, it feels kind of gross. That said, part of the results of it was quite a lot of money. And after having watched it this weekend and having watched Smash stuff before, they really spend the money well.
Yes.
Honestly.
So I actually at E3 talked to one of the people who was at the summit, and I'm not, just to be protective, I'm not going to mention who it was, but they basically said that they were really taken care of that weekend, and all the players who made it there are going to be compensated for it, right? And they really did a great job there. The production, everything was great, and a lot of that was because they did gain that money.
For sure.
So that
directly,
they were able, And so as the result, the show was very good thanks to that. So, I mean, that maybe we should add that to the topics to talk about.
Fine.
Like,
that's good.
Could add this whole little side thing to the new segment, 50-50 matchup.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay, then I guess I'll save my whole spiel about it for later on.
Sure.
But that did rehabilitate the way that the voting worked in my eyes to some degree, at least. I still think it's kind of gross, but at least there is a clear benefit out of it.
Right.
So I super enjoyed it. I didn't watch all of it. I had to prepare for this big legal conference I can talk about later, I guess, yesterday.
You were like on their official Twitter too, right? There was that picture and you're sitting there in your shades. And
that's true.
You're looking pretty dapper there, so.
These shades.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, so I had to prepare for that. I couldn't watch all of it, but I watched a good amount.
Okay.
And everything that I watched, I thought was really cool. Everything was fun. So there's like the fun side of things.
I have the wrong thing highlighted.
So, okay. Yeah. There was the fun side of things. There was the serious tournament side of things. There was the sort of content video package side of things. And I thought that all of that was awesome.
Right. I mean,
and all of those aspects were among the best that I can recall in recent memory.
right. The Jenga match was amazing.
This I didn't see.
Okay, I saw the Jenga match was like Reynolds and Chris G versus Goichi and Kazunoko. They were like kind of on teams, but they were alternating. That was awesome. The Mafia, I know they played multiple nights, but the one that was on Saturday night was just the most epic thing ever. I tweeted out that if I ever need a murder solved, I'm hiring Chris Matrix free. Because that, man, Chris
I didn't
Matrix,
watch any of that, but that sounds like it was hilarious.
dude, Chris Matrix had the call-out of call-outs because... So the way that the game works is that you have a group of people. Some of them are mafia. Everyone else is townspeople, right? And you can vote. The townspeople can vote to lynch people if they suspect that they're mafia. But also the mafia will attempt to murder everybody every night, right? So everyone has their head down. They go, mafia, raise your head. The mafias raise their head, and they point to who they want to kill. They have to kind of agree to 2 people they kill, and they go down, and they keep going. There's a doctor who can save somebody, so he's like, who do you want to save? I'll save that person. If the mafia tried to kill him, he saves his life.
Oh.
Right? There's also...
But the doctor doesn't know that...
No, he doesn't know. Okay. He has to guess. There's a cop who can just be like, point to somebody, and then the moderator will tell him if he's mafia or not, right? But the thing about it is, the cop can't just be like, I found out he's mafia, because then if he's a cop... everyone knows he's a cop, the mafia are going to kill him. So he can't reveal he's a cop right away because it'll be too easy for the mafia to kill him off.
Does that matter?
Yeah, it would matter.
It matter.
And so basically they're just trying to do it until the mafia outnumbers the townsfolk or the townsfolk kill all the mafia, right? And so during the whole entire thing, Yipes, Chris G, and Sajam, spoilers, were the mafia. Well, it's not even a spoiler. You know it right away. But man, like Sajam was playing it so good because he was just like, wait, we need to do this, but this is too obvious. Like he was like straight up being like so, and you could see it in the chat. Everyone was like, Sajam IQ 200, Sajam big brain. Oh, he's so smart. He's playing this so good.
Did they know that he was mafia? The chat?
Yeah. Because when you're watching it, when they say mafia, raise your head up, and you just see everyone raise their head up. And Sajam he was on fire. Okay. And like seriously, like the townsfolk were getting beaten up left and right. Like they kept lynching people that were townspeople, and stuff. And
they're like trying to guess who mafia is, but they might kill one of them.
Yeah, so they're like, but they pass around a ball, everyone talks, and if you're too quiet, they're like, you're too quiet, I'm suspicious. Start talking, and and like everyone just kind of talks
Seems
around.
Like the opposite. Well, okay, anyway.
It's fun. It's actually really fun, but like, then just randomly out of nowhere, Chris Matrix is like, look, I'm telling you right now, I'm a townsperson. I am one of the best townspersons here. You don't want to get rid of me. Like, I'm not mafia. I promise you that. And right now, Sajam is playing it way too straight. He was like, this is exactly how I would play it if I was mafia.
Okay.
And then Yipes didn't say anything.
Okay.
So Sajam was like, well, blah, blah. He was trying to explain or whatever like that. And then like a few rounds passed by, and then Chris was just like, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. Yipes is my boy. And when I accuse Sajam, Yipes didn't back me up. So that means they're both mafia.
Okay.
And they were both mafia. It was like the most, like, you're sitting there watching, everyone in the chat was like, oh, towns are doomed. Like, they're dead, blah, blah, blah. As soon as Chris Matrix did it, everyone was like, oh my God, dude. It was amazing, dude. It was actually one of the, it was actually, for me, I think might have been one of the biggest highlights of that whole
really
weekend.
Funny. Okay,
so
yeah.
It was so good, dude.
All right. I mean, it sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
I've never played that game, but it sounds like a really fun.
Yeah. When I saw it, I didn't know what was going on. I actually looked it up just so I could figure out what was so I could follow along. And it's interesting because I didn't understand the strategy too. Because like the same thing, I was like, yeah, if there's a cop who can just find out, why does he just like how hard? But then if you know, then the mafia will kill him because you don't know who the mafia is, and they're gonna kill the cop because he's too powerful, right?
But what if you're the cop? So each night turn, he can ask if somebody is a mafia. Say he guesses right, and he picks at the first two people who are Mafia. Now he knows who they both are.
If he happens to get both of them, there's 3 of them, right?
Oh, okay.
But if he happens to get 2 of them, he can just be like, look, I know 2 of them. And actually, at one point in time, Angelic, who was the cop, did do that.
Okay, yeah, that makes
so
sense.
Partway through, he was like, all right, look, I'm just going to come right out. I'm the cop. He's innocent. He's innocent. He's innocent.
That makes sense.
Stuff like that. But he has to last long enough for that to make it
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was really cool. It was like, I saw it and I was like, man, I would love to play this, except if I got Mafia, I'd be done.
Would you?
I'd be dead so fast because I don't think I'd be able to. Dude, I wear my heart on my sleeve too much. I don't think I'd be able to survive that.
Yeah, I sort of am not sure if I think I'd be great at it or terrible at it.
And Lil
I think
Grease,
there's a really good chance.
Lil Grease, yes, absolutely. The one play that Sajam could have made is when Angelic said, "I'm a cop. He's innocent. He's innocent." Sajam could have went, "What the hell? I'm the cop."
Right, for sure, yeah.
Like everyone can lie like that, and that was the only play that Sajam probably could have done to have saved the game, but he didn't, and that was kind of the downfall at that point in time. But it was actually really. It's on their YouTube, so you can check it out if you get a chance. So
that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. James, are you Mafia? Nah.
I think there's a pretty good chance that I would just get killed. Just coming into it, people would be like, I'm not going to put up with David either way. I feel like I would just bring in, people would expect me to and I would just die. I feel like there's a good chance of
that happened to a couple of people. I think they killed Vineeth because they just all thought he would be useless whether he'd be Mafia or down.
Makes sense.
And Leffen apparently was really good in the night before in Mafia, and so the Mafia killed him right away.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
So
I don't think I'd survive.
Funny.
I feel like my only winning role would be Mafia. Anyway. Okay, that definitely sounds fun. But yeah, man.
But there was an actual fighting game tournament. Sorry.
Well,
sorry
no,
for the distraction.
it's totally cool. Well, I think
but it was part of it.
No, for sure. I think it's really cool to talk about it because what I like about it was that it's not just the tournament itself; it's the other things. So they had all of this. I didn't see the Jenga thing, but I guess that happened. They had a blindfolded challenge between Sonic Fox and Goichi.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they were blindfolded, so they picked the characters that they thought that they could use in a blindfolded situation. Mm-hmm. So Sonic Fox picked Hit because he has half-screen buttons. You're just pressing buttons, right? Maybe it'll work out. And that was fun. I like that they do these extra things.
They had a
combo contest as well. Right. Yeah, Fender's had a combo where there were 7 perfect attacks in it from Cell. He just kept it going.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It was actually
I think it was a high fight clip.
Legit. Yeah. So I like that they have all those other things, and since they have 3 days and they only have so many players and they know who everybody's going to be in advance, they can do things like that. They can make the sick poster art of all of the players there.
Yeah.
There's all these extra things that they can do because of the format, and I really like that.
Dude, the Wonder Years clip.
The video production stuff was awesome. It was awesome.
I was so jealous of that because those are the kind of things that I've always wanted to do. Was be able to get people together and edit something like that. Yeah. I've had ideas in the past and I've just never been able to pull them off. So, that thing was actually super cool.
It was really funny. I thought it was awesome. They brought a bunch of commentators in, and I thought that they all did really well.
Yeah, even Tasty Steve showed up at the end.
Steve showed up at the end. That was awesome. But yeah, I mean, the way that they did it with 4 or even 5 people on commentary, sometimes it was a couple of players, not necessarily the established commentators there. And I thought that all of that made for a really interesting style of commentary because it's much more conversational and hangout style. We've done it a couple of times with 4 people. And it feels different. You try to make space for everybody, but in doing so, you don't have as much time to narrate or analyze necessarily. So you pick out individual moments and you're just a little more conversational. So I like that. I think that's a fun style. It's not a style that everything should have, but for this kind of event, I thought it made a ton of sense. So that was really good.
I really enjoyed hearing Leffen on commentary.
Yes.
He was that guy. You can just tell he's so analytical, and the way that he approaches games was really fascinating to hear him do that. And especially, similar to E-League this past weekend as well, when Justin got to do a bunch of analysis, also very good. So it's really cool to get that really high-level player analysis in there. So.
Like there were times when Nakio was on commentary, Lord Knight on commentary, and they did the same kind of thing. Very interesting stuff.
Right.
So I really liked all that.
We're talking about all these extra little things, but then there was the tournament.
The
actual tournament. Not only was, good for a tournament, but like it was just the results, the matches, everything. I mean, dude, I saw so many status from people going like, I don't even like Dragon Ball anymore, but that tournament was awesome. And then other people like, you know what, maybe I need to look at Dragon Ball again and stuff like that's the kind of tournament that it turned out to be,
I felt pretty bored with the game lately. I haven't played it in probably a month. And this event, I don't know that it rekindled that interest necessarily, but it made it so that I wanted to watch it. I don't feel like I need to play it. So,
right, yeah.
But
I mean, we only have enough time to play so many games.
I could make time. It's just, I just don't feel like I need to, or want to, I guess more accurately. But I really, really enjoyed watching it, and that, it at least kept that side of the game really interesting for me.
Yeah.
Because the actual matches were some of the best that I've seen in any game in a while.
Right.
They were super good matches. And the results were not what anybody expected. Anybody.
So far off.
Anybody.
In fact, the last weekend, we were just talking... The last week that we were doing the stream, we had talked about how Chris G was probably like third, fourth best in the world at the time,
Right.
Like,
we were saying that Sonic Fox and Goichi are clearly the number 1 and 2 in whatever order. And then after that, it's like Dogura and Goichi. Dogura and Chris G.
Yeah.
And then a couple other people, and then it's like 10, 15 players.
Right.
We were wrong.
But that's great, though.
That's great.
That's great. They just announced, I mean, this is probably in the FGC news, but we'll cover it here. They just announced the circuit for Dragon Ball. They said there's going to be a circuit and it's going to run from this time to next summer, basically, right? Maybe culminate in EVO 2019 or something like that. But whatever the situation, they finally have a world tour, right? And I just said, right in time for the world tour, we got the shakeup that we needed in this game, and now everybody is just like, all right, let's go. Let's
get to the results.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 16 players invited, were there anyway. 13th places were Echo Fox to Kill Sage with Adult Gohan, Goku Black, Android 16, Panaglobal Nakiel with Kid Buu, Cell Bardock, EG-NY Chris G with Bardock, Trunks, Vegeta, and CLN Yohozi with Gotenks, Kid Buu, Goku. The 9th places were EYU Cloud 805, Kid Buu, Adult Gohan, Goku Black, CAG Dogura, Kid Buu, Cell, Android 16, TSM Leffen, Android 21, Cell Vegeta, Lord Knight, Kid Buu, Cell, Android 16. And then you got the top 8. Pono Smoke, Kid Buu, Cell, Trunks, and Reynolds, Cell, Android 16. Gotenks were both 7th place. 5th places were GGP Kazunoko with Kid Buu, Adult Gohan, Yamcha, and Apology Man with Piccolo, Tien, and Goku. 4th was CAG Goichi with Cell, Bardock, Vegeta. 4th was CAG Goichi with Cell, Bardock, Vegeta. 3rd was CAG Fenrich with Cell, Bardock, Vegeta. 2nd was Echo Fox Sonic Fox with Cell, Kid Buu, Gotenks. And winner was Energy Hook Gang God with Cell, Piccolo, Vegeta. Yeah, that's obviously not what anybody called going in. In a bunch of ways. Hook Gang God winning the whole thing was a big surprise. He's a good player, of course. He's done well at a lot of things, but nobody thought that he would beat Sonic Fox and Goichi and Fenrich, which is what he did.
Right.
He beat all 3 of those players. Yeah. That's amazing. And we'll talk about it a little bit more later on, but it's amazing that he's been playing such a short period of time in fighting game tournaments, offline ones, and has already this level of success. That is absurd.
It's crazy because Sonic Fox Goichi had to play each other for the 4th place match. I missed those winners brackets matches, so I was busy in part of Sunday, and I looked at it, Goichi, Sonic Fox, and the winner side of the bracket. I was like, everything was what I was expecting.
Sure, yeah.
Came back to the stream, and they were in loser's bracket, and I was like, what happened? And Hook Gang God beat Goichi.
Correct.
And Sonic Fox lost to Fenrich.
Correct.
And they were all saying it on commentary, the players, the commentators, and everything, that they were saying Hook Gang God was playing out of his mind. Like, he had never played that good.
Yeah.
And all of them were saying the one person he does not want to make it out of that loser's bracket is Sonic Fox, because he has never beat him. Like, a single set at NLBC. Like, he just can't beat him.
Yeah.
But then some of them were like, well, if he's going to win this is probably the way that he has to do it.
It's like the poetic way to do it.
And then Sonic Fox came in, again, in loser's bracket. He rematched with Fenrich. He bodied Fenrich.
He did.
The second time.
It's 3-0.
And then he came up against Hook Gang God, and he won the first set. And I thought to myself, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
That, you know,
it was a 3-2 reset.
Right. But
Pretty
after
close.
he got the reset, I honestly didn't think Hook Gang God would be able to hold it together.
Same, dude. I thought for sure that Fox was about to win.
I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was just going to get bodied as soon as that reset happened, because then you're like, oh, God, 3-2 now. But he 3-0'd, right? If I'm not mistaken. He 3-0'd in that last set, and he took it.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
It's quite a time. And as we mentioned last week or the week before, I don't know, Sonic Fox and Goichi had only lost to each other and their closest training partner, plus Chris G for Sonic Fox, in the entirety of Dragon Ball so far, in any tournament.
Right.
And that is crazy. So that then Sonic Fox this time lost to Fenrich, adding somebody else to the equation, and then Goichi lost to Hook Gang God, adding somebody else to the equation. That's pretty remarkable for that to happen both in the same event.
Yeah, And then, like I said, Hook Gang God taking it. And you know what? I thought one of the... Even though, like I said, I enjoyed the Mafia, I enjoyed the Jenga and everything like that, to me, the key moment of the entire tournament was right when Hook Gang God won. And you could see in the background all of the players charging out of the room, including Leffen and a whole bunch of guys, Nakil coming out, and they just like mobbed Hook Gang God and applauded him. And to me, I thought that was cool, because you rarely get to see the other pros be that hype and excited about somebody else winning. But to see all of them so happy for Hook Gang God, I thought was just a really, really cool moment. Also, the second coolest moment was in the background when Yipes beheaded Sonic Fox.
No, I didn't actually see it. No, I heard about it.
They're just showing Reynolds. He's just sitting at the station ready to play. You can see the door behind there, and you see Sonic Fox just standing there. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like the sword wraps around his neck, and you just see him like pulls off and then he goes off camera. And then Yipes comes walking around the room with his like jacket pulled up, and he's got like the beanie on. And he's just holding Sonic Fox's like the fox head, and he just walks right past.
Okay.
So funny, because Yipes, the way he just looked when he walked out of the room, dude, was hilarious.
That's really funny.
Man.
Yeah, so for Fox, getting second place is unusual, of course. Same for Goichi getting fourth, even more unusual. Fenrich getting third is not like a big surprise necessarily, but not what I would have called, so that's pretty cool too. Both Piccolo users getting fifth place or above is interesting, and players like Dogura 9th and Chris G 13th, I think, are big surprises. Nakil getting 13th, I think, is a surprise. It's obviously a stacked event, but even still, I was surprised.
Oops, hang on, guys. Sorry. I'm going to throw this on stream just so other people can see it, because this is just hilarious, dude. I was dying. All right, let's do this. Okay, there we go. So you just see this here. Like, you don't even need sound for this.
Okay.
You just don't even need sound.
Oh, I see behind Reynolds. Back it up, because I only at the end saw what was going on.
Okay, look at and watch Goichi too afterwards.
Oh man, God. Okay.
Oh, that was hilarious, dude. I don't know. I thought that was funny. Oh, yipes.
So yeah, it was very interesting tournament results. Dogura getting 9th, I have to think, at least in part, is due to him having traveled extensively lately, having been to Combo Breaker and then E-League and then this.
Well,
So he's traveling a lot.
I heard also he drank a lot.
Okay.
I mean, that was the thing. They all had a really good time there and everything. So, but I mean, also what a lot of people were saying, like, I think it might have been Cloud or it was Reynolds or someone just like felt like they weren't playing well, and then they said like they just disappeared because they were upstairs playing for 4 hours straight and stuff, you know. So it was just.
I imagine everybody leveled up there, just playing each other constantly.
I think Leffen said that too. He was just like sitting in this room playing with all these people, just like he's like, I just have all these new ideas about the game and stuff, you know. So
very cool.
But honestly, I think the best thing about this event, you know, even from the commentator standpoint as well, was just that it just felt like what to me the FGC is, to you the FGC is, because we've done this all the time. You talked about Combo Breaker, how it just feels like the most like you're just hanging out with friends. Yeah. And that's kind of what the Summit of Power felt like. It just was like, you know, even though the commentators were there to be commentators, they were part of the Mafia. Yipe sitting there doing that thing to Sonic Fox.
Right,
you know,
right.
There's obviously a lot of backstory to that because of NLBC and everything like that. But, you know, it's just the atmosphere there of them all just having a good time and just hanging out with each other, watching Kazunoko and Goichi play Jenga of all things with Reynolds and Chris G, you know, like it was just cool to see those kind of interactions. And even like Chris Matrix was doing commentary for Jenga, but there was a rule that you can't use two hands at the same time. And so like some of the Goichi kept trying to do that, and Matrix was like, you can't use two hands. Eventually put on like a referee, like the Foot Locker shirt, and like walked over there, was like,
that's funny.
Like staring at dude, like the whole thing was just like, I loved seeing the interaction between the players, and to me that really represented what the fighting game community is about in a lot of ways, is that kind of friendly banter and that mutual respect. Just, I mean, there's obviously people who might not like each other, I don't know, but like the mutual respect of, you know, talent is there. So
makes sense.
You know,
it all seemed cool. It seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right. Anything else about?
It's not a real Foot Locker shirt that they're doing. Yeah. Anyways.
I'm not sure about this being in every community. For me, I would not want this to happen regularly because I think that it would be difficult to sustain financially, probably most significantly. Mm-hmm. And then I also wouldn't want it to get old. I think I think it's really cool to have it as like once a year or whatever the frequency is. I don't know. I think that'd be cool, but I wouldn't want it to happen more often than that. And that means that it's like tough to get every community involved, every sub genre.
Although someone did say that they want to see it for Tekken, and I was like, "Yo, that would be the Poke Chop show."
Yeah. I mean, in doing it, I feel like you have to think about which scene has the characters.
Bronson, Poke Chop, Eris.
That makes sense to me. Tekken seems like a good call to me.
Oh, I would be so excited.
Yeah,
it would be so awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I really wouldn't want it to get stale.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to see like, oh, here's the next summit, here's the next summit, here's the next summit.
And I think it's a good point that KFC says that Dragon Ball is a perfect game because it's the melding of the scene. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It brings in everybody. You even just look at who was in this. You got players from Guilty Gear, everything, anime, Marvel, KOF, Melee, Street Fighter / everything. There's just a lot of different scenes involved, even in this. So
and you know, I was even that's another thing too, is that you can see that all the communities together make it that was some of the strength of it, right? And even Leffen afterwards, he was just like, this was an amazing event. I love the FGC. We could be stronger if we're together. And I was just like, yes. Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Leffen has been playing other fighting games for forever. You know, he was good in SF4. He was good in SF5 when he cared about it. So
he played Marvel.
He played Marvel.
Yeah,
he did play Marvel.
So it was really cool. So hopefully, like you said, it doesn't they don't beat a dead horse by doing it too much.
I don't think they would.
I think it would be cool to see it for some other games. And, you know, I don't even necessarily think that they need to do it for Street Fighter, because Street Fighter has enough publicity and the players already out there. You know what I mean? Like, we know Smug, we know Punk, we know Knuckle Dew. It would be cool to get, like, Poke Chop and Bronson and those guys into a house.
I think Tekken would be really good for it.
Yeah,
I could see that. Exactly. I think the NRS scene would be really good for it, too.
Yeah.
There's enough. There's enough beef.
You mean they'd be cooking a lot of steak, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be cooking a lot of
They'd
steak.
be cooking each other.
Hamburgers,
Okay,
yeah. That's what you mean. Oh, man. Okay.
Anyway,
But,
anything else about this?
No, like I said, I could gush about it a little bit more, but I really enjoyed it. Congratulations to the Beyond the Summit people. I mean, the only biased reason why I would like them to do a Street Fighter thing is just so I could maybe be a part of something like that, because it looked like fun, and I wish I was a part of that. You know what I mean? Like I saw it and I was like, I just want to hang out with these guys and just not be Mafia. So.
I'm pretty sure I would die in that. But I feel like it'd be really fun to like think about, and I'd like have all these plans, and I come into it with like my game plan, and then somebody would kill me in like a second turn.
Right, because actually,
Make sure
one of the townspeople is also a vigilante, and every night he can just choose to kill anybody.
Okay.
He could just randomly shoot someone, but he can only do it once.
Oh.
And the doctor can only save a person one time, so he can't keep saving the same person. So if you can't be like, I'm the cop, and then go save the cop, save the cop, save the cop, save the cop.
Sense.
And the vigilante can only shoot someone once, and Leffen shot Hook Gang God right away, but then he was killed the first night, so the vigilante just disappeared and Hook Gang God died. Leffen showed up in the chat, and they're like, why did you kill Hook Gang God, right? And he was like, because he told me I sucked. That's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, funny. What? How are you supposed to say vigilante?
Vigilante.
Oh, vigilante.
It's whatever. It's how Americans say it.
Symbiote.
It's fine.
Oh man. That's how you're supposed to say vigilante. Vigilante, right? I mean,
nah, I've never heard it said like that.
Really? That's so weird. Like. That's how I've heard it too.
I didn't think it was weird enough to point out, but I don't think I've heard it before.
Okay.
I don't think it matters either. So.
Okay.
All right,
enough of the Summit of Power.
Well, do you want to take a break and then come back and talk about E3 and Smash and all that stuff?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that then. I guess we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about E3 and a lot of Smash news this morning.
Yes.
So, all right, be right back, guys. Oops, that was the wrong thing to click. There we go.